Hello, everyone.
Hello.
We can't see it. We see bright lights. We just assume there are a lot of people who are excited to see these two young, brand new players coming out. So first of all, thank you to Erica, who's done a lot of work, and she's just a brilliant person to work with. I'm Barbara MacDonald, and I'm the beginning chanter teacher. And these two students started only 2 months ago. So we're really excited to have them play for the first time in public. They're starting on a practice chanter. So Isabel is 8, and Ryden is 11. And we welcome everyone to come out and have a go at bagpipes and drums. So we're going to play a few things for you in such a beautiful hall. And I think the decorations are very festive, so we're excited to wear our Santa hats and show some tunes. Now, the trouble is I don't think I can talk and play at the same time. So we'll see if this will work. Old, golden. Okay, come on over. Close in. One of the first things we learned when we were playing the chanter is how to play low G. So we don't have a table here, and normally we just pick it up quickly and play low G. So let's just show everybody our low G. Ready? 1, 2. Beautiful. Now that takes a few weeks, I have to say. Getting your fingers exactly lined up and on the holes is a bit of a challenge. So we're going to do what we call exercise 7 together, okay, where we lift the bracelets up. And this takes some dexterity because you have to lift up one finger at a time. You ready to try that? Here we go. 1, 2. And now we'll play the scale together. Okay, starting on low G. Here we go. 1, 2. Unpracticed elbow? It's new. We're going to just say it's new. A couple weeks only. You'll figure it out, I'm pretty sure. Are you ready? Yep. 1, 2. Here we go.
Good evening. My name is Iain MacDonald. I'm the band director for the Conservatory, and this is the Conservatory pipe band. We're going to play a few tunes for you. Anyone know how bagpipes work? Anyone want to know? Who should we ask to explain? Who's the most frightened looking? Let's see how this goes. Maddox, could you explain how bagpipes work?
Well, there's a bag, and there's 3 drones, and you blow air into the bag, and then you hit the bag, and it makes the drones go, and you have a chanter, and then you blow more air and you into the bag, and then you get a sound basically. That's kind of.
And how many reeds are you working with?
8. No, 1, sorry. 1.
We need to get back to lessons here. How many reeds? You have 1 chanter and 3?
Oh, there's 4.
4 reeds. Getting those reeds together in tune and coordinated is sometimes a challenge. But Grady over here, Grady's going to tell us the hardest thing about being a new person on bagpipes.
Squeezing the bag.
That is absolutely true. Everyone thinks, oh, you have to blow, 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 but blowing is just part of it. Squeezing the bag and keeping that bag going is the hardest part. Sawyer, what's the hardest part about playing a snare drum?
The drum is heavy.
Is that it? You appear to have the shortest drum. I was just saying. Is it heavier than the other ones? No. All right, so we're going to play some tunes for you. And the first tune we're going to play was made popular in about 77. It was a #1 hit in the UK for weeks on end. It was recorded by the Royal Scots Dragoon Guards, a regiment in the British Army that had both a pipe band and a brass band. And this was like a #1 hit in the UK for quite a number of weeks. And we're going to start out, Alexander is going to give us a little solo, and we're going to play Amazing Grace for you. That's great, eh? Yeah, that's great. Good solo there, Alexander. Nice. We're very lucky to have some really great instructors, apart from me, at the Conservatory. You met Barb earlier, who does a fantastic job teaching new pipers. We have Laura back there in the drums, who teaches snare drumming and does a fantastic job. And Jenah, who is playing bass tonight for us, but is actually a snare drum instructor. And I was going to point out that what we're missing right here, are some tenor drummers. So if there are any kids who would like to learn tenor drumming, we'd love to have you. And we need actually a bass drummer too, because Jenah plays snare drum in the adult band, so we can't keep her there forever. Right, let's play. We're gonna play a couple of tunes that we've been working on. So you'll see people starting and stopping, because some people know the first tune, some people don't know the second tune as much, but we're gonna play two tunes. Corriechoillie. Corriechoillie is a Gaelic word, which I think is the clan of the cry of the Clan Cameron. Corriechoillie is the chief of the Clan Cameron, and this tune was written in honor of his 43rd attendance at one of the big Highland games in Scotland. It was written probably in the 1950s. It's called Corriechoillie's 43rd Welcome to the Northern Meeting, for those who are taking notes at home. And the second tune is the Earl of Mansfield, both little 2/4 marches that we're going to have a go at. Gaelic air called, I think, was it? Oh, or it might have been Jingle Bells. I can't remember. What's up next? Oh, next is an old Gaelic air, actually. This tune is called My Home. And, you know, if you know the words, sing along. Since he didn't know My Home, we're going to get Grayson to come out here, and he's going to give us another tune, the Skye Boat Song. Grayson got his pipes a year ago, roughly, yeah? So he's pretty fresh. I mean, even though he looks like he's 42, he's only had his pipes for a year. Grady, back there looking around for the candy cart, he's had his pipes since, when do you get your pipes? Summer, yeah? May. He got his pipes in May. And same, Alexander is making a little progress. He's got his pipes about the same time. The drummers have been at it a little bit longer. And they can play a little bit more, to be honest. But we're getting there. One thing I want to mention is you'll notice there are a couple of like big older kids. Did you notice that? Hiding in the band here. Because of COVID, remember that? COVID? Everyone was in the house looking at Zoom. We had a couple of years where we had no new registrations for the pipe band because, you know, bagpipes, guess what, spit everywhere. It's hard to learn. It's hard to learn over Zoom. People are not enthused. Since then, we've struggled a little bit to get people coming back for lessons. So in order to give the actual kids in the band an opportunity to play at things like this and at other things. This year we've enlisted the help of some of the pipers from our adult bagpipes group. And Pat over there came back. She played in our adult band for years and years and years. Is a great player, and she came back to help out. We have Anna in the back corner over there. Anna's got a bunch of kids that play a bunch of different instruments. And Anna herself plays a bunch of instruments, including bagpipes. Your pipes are less than a year old, right? May or something? And she's become quite a nice piper. And then over here is Shelley, who's maybe just a little bit longer on pipes, but also pretty fresh in. Anyway, I'm super glad that they're coming to help us out. They add a lot to the band, and they give the kids a place to play. So that's the story behind the older, bigger kids in the band. I think we're going to play a 6/8 march now. We're going to feature a couple of our drummers, Ruby and Sabine. Come on up here. We're going to play a classic old tune, Bonnie Dundee. We're going to finish off with two traditional tunes again. The first one is called Mari Bhan, Gaelic for Fair Mary, and you might know it is Mari's wedding step. Gaily on we go, here, Barra McNeil's, a million different people have played it. And the second tune is maybe one of the oldest kind of marchy bagpipe tunes there is. It's called Teribus. Not sure what it means or where it is or who it was. But there are records of it being played in the 1500s in the border area of Scotland. So we're going to finish up with Mari's Wedding, or Mari Bhan and Teribus. Thanks very much for your patience. Enroll your kids in piping and drumming. It's fun. Lifelong friends, music. See, lifelong friends, like even old kids, you meet old kids in the band, yeah. So anyway, we're going to finish up, and thanks so much for your attention. Thank you.
Erica was saying, we're just going to show you a few little snippets of a technical dance class, contemporary dance class. You'll also see some elements of ballet as well. Ballet is such a strong foundation of all professional dance. So usually you will see a production, something rehearsed, a piece, choreographed piece, rehearsed over and over again, polished, and then on stage. But we thought we'd show you something different to see what dancers actually do in class. I have 3 dancers with me from class. There are other people in class, but as I say, these are the brave hearts. It's really, really hard to do a class. It's easier to have something rehearsed and prepared than do a class in front of all of you, but I'm sure you're very welcoming and making us feel at home on stage when we're normally in a classroom with a mirror. And up there we have John, who is doing our lights. He's also the music man this evening. We always have music with us in class, so he will be going through the tracks, supporting us in class. My dancers will come on stage now. We have Pearl, Elise, and Gracia. John, when you're ready, please.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Foundation of all dance. Moving through the foot, we're warming up the soles of the feet, which we need for all our jumps, all our combinations. So it seems very simple, but it has a strong purpose. John, when you're ready, please. 5, 6, 7, 8. de jambe. A lot of ballet terminology is in French, and we use that as well as in contemporary. Circle of the leg, but we do a little bit of shifting movement before we do. And again, this is just a small segment of a longer phrase. Sean, when you're ready.
5, 6, 7, 8.
3, 4, counts, 6, 7, 8.
You got your little way of hurting me, you know just how to tear me up. Leave me in small pieces on the ground. You got your little way of hurting me, they're not too bad, but they're real tough. Just one cold look from you can knock me down. To look at you and me, no one would ever know the pain that I've endured. I won't let it show. My friends would laugh out loud if they only knew the truth about how I'm just your lovesick fool. 'Cause you got your little ways of hurting me, you know just how to tear me up. Leave me in small pieces on the ground. And you got your little ways of hurting me, they're not too bad, but they're real tough. Just one cold look from you can knock me down. The sadness in my eyes should somehow be a clue, but no one here would ever suspect sweet little you. There have been rumors of the truth, but I've kept it quiet, 'cause I'm too ashamed to let them know you make me cry. And you got your little ways of hurting me, you know just how to tear me up. Leave me in small pieces on the ground. You got your little ways of hurting me, they're not too bad, but they're real tough. Just one cold look from you can knock me down. Yeah, your little ways can knock me to the ground.
Out of music, so John, we just want to rewind. He knows my mind. Thanks.
You got your little way of hurting me, you know just how to tear me up. Leave me in small pieces on the ground. You got your little way of hurting me, they're not too bad, but they're real tough. Just one cold look from you can knock me down. To look at you and me, no one would ever know.
Flamenco, if you don't know, is a form of music, song, and dance that comes from southwestern Spain, an area called Andalusia. And so there's a number of different styles of songs that you will hear in flamenco. So tonight you're going to hear samples of 4. So the first piece that we're going to be performing, I just want to tell you a little bit about, it's called a guajira. And the guajira is a little bit of an international style of flamenco. So it is called, it's a style called ida y vuelta, which means return trip. So what happened was a Spanish colonialist took Spanish song from Spain, went to the New World, the song kind of marinated there for a little while, and then it went back. And so it has, this particular guajira probably came out of Cuba. And the other thing I want to note is you'll note we'll be dancing with fans. And fans themselves would have come from China through the Philippines and then made its way over to Spain. So it's a little bit of an international flair to the piece. And then the next piece we're going to do, the beginners are going to come out and sample a part of the alegría that they've been learning this fall. And alegría means joy. The intermediate advanced are going to come back out, and we are going to perform a piece we learned last year. It's the Soleá, which means solitude. And finally, we are going to bring out the crowd favorite, the Fin de Fiesta Bolivia. And this is the type of party dance that you would see at parties in Spain. So finally, one final note is that audiences are a very important part of a flamenco show. So if you like what you're seeing on stage from the musicians or the dancers, feel free to shout out an ole. So on the count of 3, if you can give me your best oles, please do. So 1, 2, 3. Ole! Fantastic. Okay, we will get started.
cerrar los liberales y alcancé su petar gracia y hondura y alcancé su petar gracia y hondura
Thank you very much. That was Cedars Blues, and before I get too far, I think it would be good to introduce the band. It's important for people to know each other and feel comfortable when they're wanting to play with each other, especially when they're stretching themselves and doing improvising, as these guys are all engaging in. And we have a lot of fun on Wednesdays when we get together. So just like Erica said, if you know someone in between 13 and 18, basically high school age, that has an interest in jazz and would like to explore it, we'd love to explore it with them. And that tune featured Paxton and Annie on the saxophones and then Logan on the drums. And I'm going to pass it off to Annie to introduce our next tune.
The next tune we will be playing is My Little Swage by Charlie Parker, and it's going to feature Nolan, myself, and Catherine.
Thank you.
This next tune is a personal favorite of mine by one of my favorite jazz players. It's a really good boogaloo tune. It's called Cornbread by Lee Morgan, and it will feature myself, Catherine, and Logan on solos.
Okay, we're going to have our next tune introduced by Paxton.
Our next tune is A Child is Born, and it is by Thad Jones, and it will feature myself and Catherine on the bass.
Afro Blue. This is a bright Afro jazz waltz by Mongo Santa Maria, and it will feature Annie right over there and me. Enjoy.
So for our last tune of the evening, I'm going to let Catherine introduce it, but just before I do that, just want to say thank you to the Conservatory, to Erica for helping to organize this evening tonight. Thank you so much to all of you for coming out, and we look forward to playing for you again at our next Turn 2 performance, which is at the end of March. And we'll have details out to friends and family for that soon. And here's Catherine.
Our last tune for the night is Feel So Good by Chuck Mangione. You'll be hearing solos from Paxton and Nolan.